Bitcoin is at $124,000 and there is zero retail interest. And look what Quentin says, no retail interest, just institutional demand. Exactly what we discussed just 2 days back. I pulled out the charts for you guys in terms of Google Trend. And right now, the capital that's flowing, the Bitcoin move that we're seeing right now is mainly smart money, institutional money that is flowing into the space. Retail is still not here as of yet. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP army. Appreciate all the love. Just over the last, 20, 30 minutes, the market has shifted, in the green zone back again. We're starting off Monday on a really, really positive note. And you can see this for yourself. The broader market is in green, which is, of course, very exciting to see. As far as the price of XRP is concerned, sitting at $2.99, almost $3 right now, down about 2.1% in USD and about 1.4% over the course of the last 24 hours in Bitcoin. Comparative valuation 179 billion and the 24-hour trading volume at 4.7 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So take a look at this, guys. Digital asset funds saw almost 6 billion inflows last week, the largest on record. That's the largest on record. And again, big money, institutional money flowing in. Retail still nowhere to be seen, and I think retail kicks in once XRP and the likes of some of these other coins start retesting closer to January levels. That's where I think retail is going to start coming in, and I think it's going to be too late at that point. But let's continue to take a look at what's going on. Crypto Fear and Greed Index hit 71, signaling greed, up from neutral at 50 last week. So we have started off the month of October on such a positive note. Even the weekend was amazing. We saw BTC reaching an all-time high, and I think this week is going to be a very interesting week for the crypto space. Do expect some volatility. I think the meeting minutes from last FOMC meeting are going to be released, so I think that's something we want to keep in mind. But so far so good. Bitcoin looking great, the broader market looking great. I'm expecting a good week. But look at this. US spot Bitcoin ETF saw its second best record weekly inflows of 3.2 billion last week, while Ethereum at 1.3, which I just shared with you guys. So again, institutional money coming in, and I think retail is still nowhere to be paying attention. But take a look at this Tuesday NY Fed inflation expectation data. And you can see Wednesday Fed meeting minutes released, Thursday Fed Chair Powell's speech, Friday, MI consumer sentiment and expectations data, September jobs report if government shutdown ends by then. This could be delayed. Let me know in the comments what your personal thoughts are, and let's move forward. Take a look at this. Gold reaches new all-time high at 3,900, and you're seeing something very interesting happening. Silver is mooning. You're seeing gold reaching all-time highs. You're seeing Bitcoin reaching all-time highs. Equities are reaching S&P 500. Everything is booming right now. Let me know what you guys think is going on. Is this going to be closer to the top? What's really happening in your opinion? Obviously, as far as the crypto market is concerned, we're actually coming closer to the top rather than getting to the start. And I think this wave that we're in right now, where Bitcoin is breaking towards an all-time high, I think this is the last wave for altcoins specifically. I think Bitcoin is going to come out of the 4-year cycle. I don't think we're going to see sharp pullbacks like we have seen in the past cycles, based off of my personal opinion, because there's so much capital, there's so much interest in Bitcoin right now, and the demand right now is outweighing the supply massively. The amount of Bitcoins that are being mined, this demand is 10 times more than that. So I think Bitcoin might come out of the 4-year cycle, but I think altcoins are still going to be impacted by the bear market. So that's something I want you guys to keep in mind. But let's take a look at this. Swift is a network of networks. Ripple is a liquidity engine inside those networks. The integrations such as Finstra, ACI, Timmins, SAP, CGI, Accenture act as a bridge between them. The result is that by November 2025, when Swift fully switches to ISO 222, any bank connected to Swift can also access XRP corridors without needing to overhaul its system. Swift is simply a messaging system. It needs outside assistance for other tasks involved. November is going to be very interesting, of course, because the ISO standard is being implemented by Swift themselves, as you can see, and that's where you really understand that XRPL ledger and XRP's obviously use case kind of go in hand in a way, because of course, it's a bridge asset for the XRPL ledger, which a lot of people don't understand. But let's take a look at this. Shout out to X Finance Bull. Still thinks XRP is just a payment coin. XRP is leveled up. Multi-purpose tokens are live on XRPL. No trust lines, no friction, full control, smart compliance. And you could look at what Vincent says. Ripple will soon start minting RLUSD using MPT. Yes, that's right. No more IOU tokens. XRP Ledger is slowly being transformed into a compliance first beast. And on top of that, XRP surpasses Citibank in market cap. The new financial era is unfolding before our eyes, which is insane to think about. But let's take a look at what's happening with the prices, and we'll go from there. So as far as the dominance is concerned, I've highlighted this in every single update. Want you guys to start focusing on September 13th. This is where we want to see the dominance making its way back towards the downside. And imagine what could happen with altcoins, especially when the capital from Bitcoin flows back into alts, and dominance flows down to these levels, or goes even lower. I think alts are really going to feel that love there, and this is what you want to see happening. And I think this could happen much quicker than a lot of people are realizing. But as of now, we are seeing strength in Bitcoin dominance, because Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear. Bitcoin reached an all-time high, as I told you guys before, and we did come up to $124,000 yesterday, got rejected at that key range. But Bitcoin is picking up once again. I'm anticipating a new all-time high very, very soon. But as far as the XRP's price is concerned, let's give it a refresh live here, and understand what's happening with XRP. So XRP's price right now is currently back at almost $3 price point. We know the level of the $3. You guys know how important that key range is. But breaking above this key range, and especially if Bitcoin is able to push back up to all-time highs, I'm anticipating us to push up to the $3.10 range and finally break out and retest some of the levels we haven't seen since September 13th. With the way the dominance is still quite high, if the dominance was still where we are, where we were back in September, I think we would have already seen. Yeah, let that sink in, guys. I think we would have already seen the price of XRP sitting at the likes of $3.36. I personally think that. But dominance is much higher than where we were in September 13th, and yet you're still seeing XRP getting closer to that key range, and that should tell you how good XRP is holding. So I like what I'm seeing here. I think it's going to be a good week for the broader market, including XRP. My targets, hopefully, we do get retest $3.20 for the first time since September 13th, and I think that is where we really want to be right now. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Thanks for all the love. We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.